she told us that there's no actual problem with the status quo and that people are smart enough to differentiate between their judgment on one's economic policy and what he may or may not have done to massive populations of a different ethnicity. I will show you in my speech why that is not true. And I will be giving you the analysis of the populations and countries in a post-conflict situation, which they have completely ignored. Then I will go on to show you why this meets the criterion, or our proposition meets the criterion for when we infringe on freedom of speech. Because they have agreed with us that when there's clear and present danger to human life, we do limit freedom of speech. And I will show you why our situation today is completely analogous to the situation of incitement, which is banned in all democracies. First of all, a few words of rebuttal. She told us that these views will be there anyway, even if we ban them. Yes, maybe. We say that when 10 people in our society hold these views, that's not a problem. But if those 10 people are able to glorify these leaders and recruit masses and thousands and tens of thousands of people to believe in those views, that's where it becomes a problem, and that's why we don't want them to do it. They told us it's the same thing those former leaders have done in the past. No, it meets the criteria under which we now ban or infringe on freedom of speech, as I will explain in my speech. And the rest of the things she told us, that people are smart enough to pass judgment and to make the differentiation, and there's no actual problem. I'll be dealing with that in just a second. Let's be very clear about our model. Obviously, we will not ban to glorify someone who hasn't been convicted. That's in the motion. Future leaders will be convicted, will be banned, or past leaders who have been convicted. So what have they ignored on side proposition today? They told us there's no actual problem, but that ignores the scenario which is relevant to our debate today. Because states and nations whose former leaders have been tried and convicted of war crimes, who are these states and nations? These are nations in a post-war situation. Maybe the war was a civil war. Maybe the war was a war with another country. But we say if the country's leader has been tried and convicted for war crimes, it is extremely likely that that country is now in quite a bad state. We say maybe they lost the war and they're poor. Maybe they're desperate. Maybe, as my partner said, in 100% likelihood, they feel humiliated. The side opposition today has completely underestimated and underrepresented the value and strength of national pride and national humiliation. We say the only reason Hitler was able to take power in Germany after World War I was the humiliation of the German people was the humiliation of the German people after World War I, because they were so humiliated by the French, they were so oppressed by the Allies in that war, that they really yearned to be back to their glory days, to the days of power. They wanted to elect a strong leader who will march them forward and not to succumb to the humiliation that they had suffered. We say that in societies in which civil war took place, these people have now have to get along with each other, with the same people they now come to daily contact with. We say if one sector of society has massacred another sector of society, and now these two sectors have to live together, it's extremely dangerous to allow people of the same sector to continue glorifying these leaders, because that constitutes incitement. Why? I'll show you right now. Because we say some messages, before that, go man.
If these individuals existed in society, they're so shamed, wouldn't suppressing them further radicalize their movements and legitimize their cause?
Why do you think they're shamed? No, they're shamed because they have been humiliated. They want to go back to their glory days. That's why they want to glorify these leaders. We don't think they're shamed. We think these individuals who want to glorify are not shamed, that they don't want others to be shamed. Guys, why does this constitute incitement? Because we say some messages are literal and only interpreted literally. When I say Obama is stupid, then it just means that Obama is stupid. When I say Obama should be removed from the White House, it just means that. But some messages carry a stronger message even beyond words. We say when I wear a t-shirt with a swastika, I say something very, very clear. I'm not saying I like the shape of the object. I'm saying that killing Jews was a correct policy. I'm saying that the Jews are inferior in society and should be put in camp was the right way to go. We don't think there's any other meaning to a swastika. We think that when I wear a white cape, I'm conveying a very accurate message. Obviously, with a dummy shaped hat, I convey a very strong message about what we have to do with blacks. We say, please mind that when you wear a swastika t-shirt or wear a white cape, it's completely because of the immediate association their name creates in the mind of every reasonable person on the face of the earth has the exact same